The European Union just made its move against national sovereignty. After years of pressure, Hungary has finally been neutralized, and now Brussels is moving to eliminate the last real check on its power, the national veto. If that happens, sovereignty inside the EU is finished. Hello, I'm Michael. This is Southern Realism, a channel about power, geopolitics, and decline. EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen celebrated the defeat of Viktor Orban in Hungary. For Brussels, this was not just a political victory. It removed one of the last leaders willing and able to block the centralization of power inside the European Union. And almost immediately, von der Leyen pivoted to calling for the end of national vetoes. Now, this is not a minor change. The veto is the mechanism that allows individual nations to stop Brussels from acting against their interest, whether on war policy, sanctions, energy, or internal governance. And remove the veto, that protection is gone. Hungary was not brought into line by chance. It was systematically targeted. The EU withheld billions in funding. It sanctioned the country over policy disputes. It moved to cut off energy flows. It isolated Hungary politically and applied constant pressure over the course of years. And at the same time, Orban himself was relentlessly demonized, portrayed as a dictator, a puppet, an outlier to be removed. And this is a familiar pattern. Central institutions do not expand power all at once. They isolate resistance first. They apply pressure. They weaken the target politically and economically. And once that resistance is gone, they change the rules. This is exactly what we're seeing right now. Von der Leyen made it clear before the election that Brussels had what she calls tools. And these tools were used not just against a government, but against a country and its population to force political change. This is how centralized power expands. It removes resistance first and then restructures a system so that resistance becomes impossible. If the national veto is eliminated, then decision-making inside the EU shifts permanently. Power consolidates at the center. Smaller nations lose the ability to defend their own interests. And once that shift happens, it does not reverse. We've seen this before in other systems. When central authority removes structural limits on its power, those limits do not come back. So what we're watching is not just European politics, it's a structural transformation from a union of nations with competing interests to a centralized system where those interests are overridden. If the veto goes, sovereignty inside the EU doesn't weaken, it disappears. And once it's gone, it doesn't come back. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, please follow us on our Telegram page, like and subscribe, and I'll be back very soon.